Hi, my name is Nikki, and I help you get more customers or clients through digital infrastructure, through systems, frameworks, methodologies, morals, beliefs, value systems, and help you understand how everything is interconnected online so you can be ranked higher in Google, be indexed by AI, and start operating with clarity as opposed to fear. I'm going to be building a layer of my ecosystem today so I can show you what it looks like to have a clean orientation layer for everything that you have created. And if you have a business already and you're wondering, why am I not getting customers? Why am I not landing opportunities? I'm going to show you how, even if you have another system on the back end helping you land clients, helping you get opportunities, or if you have another system that is already working where you have people purchase your products, have people purchase your services, but you do not have that visually appealing trust layer yet, you don't think that your current presence needs to be changed yet, it's not that there is a need here. There is more so an opportunity here. For the first time, we have the opportunity to work with the level of guidance that we didn't have before to make our digital presence even better. And we can have these creative systems that work for us where only our presence is required for growth. Let's go. Something interesting happened today, and what happened was I paid for a masterclass, $27, and after paying for the masterclass, I was invited into a free room, and that free room was a community layer on Skool. So what naturally happens is once we experience something, we know already that life is a mirror, so we look for the lesson in it, right? And when something doesn't work out, we figure out why, and then we document that, and that becomes part of our growth, our ability to build businesses, grow, evolve, and so forth. So what I had been doing for the past 2-3 years now is building these online courses on Skool, and it took me a while to get to the execution layer, the layer where people can come in and they can use these digital tools so they can have practical services in real life that they can offer to make money in addition to online courses and in addition to thinking that only one way is the way to make money. But online courses are ultimately the best way, I think, to make money. But when it comes to getting out of survival, something I realized is we need those practical services to help us make money. And those can be operating even if you have a job already. And one that I offer right now are building websites and landing pages for people. And this has been very profound and it has helped me move forward. I did one for a concrete business and I can show you. So we're going to go here. Going to show you what I have created for a concrete business because he said that it is okay for me to share. So yes, I used it in Lovable. I created a website here for the business, and it has clean organization across the top, phone number, free estimate button. View our work is where you are taken to the gallery page, and on the gallery page you have these beautiful visuals of the business and what they do. Okay. And these visuals are very important because while these visuals were on their social media, they do not look half as good as they do on a clean landing page. And I don't know about you, but the last time I viewed someone's landing page that also had congruent visuals on their Instagram, I was far more likely to want to learn from them because their content was congruent. And this applies to also messaging, frameworks, methodologies. When everything is interconnected, your brand creates this trust layer, and then it can be more clearly understood by Google, found by AI search, and so forth. So when you are consistent with your naming of your frameworks, when you're consistent with your item names, your course names, everything, then it intertwines and comes together into a clean, congruent system. But this is an example of how these congruent systems that people have in the creator economy with their courses and their frameworks also apply to businesses in real life. And most businesses actually need your help. So you could be sitting on skills that can make you a lot of money right now. And you could also be sitting on skills that can help other people too, depending on your interests. The money comes when you put in the reps. That is what I've learned. You stay consistent with the same thing every day and you put in the reps, and then the money comes because the market can understand you. But I like to add that when everything is interconnected, the money multiplies. So the testimonials and reviews section, I said yesterday, every business is going to have testimonials and reviews. And when you have those, it creates clarity. But I strive to teach people that it's not, because there are so many online, especially on different platforms. The platforms all hold a rhythm, a frequency, consciousness. So depending on which one you're spending more of your time on, you're going to be thinking differently. So, or be in a different rhythm. So I started working with small business owners just to get myself out of the creator economy and start applying one of my core strengths which is practical service offering. So I actually got a client just through word of mouth, through speaking it, and was offered an opportunity. So I built this website, and the first 2 websites I did absolutely free because I wanted to put the reps in. So I did 2 for free, and then I charged one for $150, and then I charged one for $300, and then I got paid $50 for an extra modification that was out of scope. So I learned about scope change and how you could get paid more when you have clients for scope change. So on the website, they can request a quote, or track their project, send pictures, and so forth. FAQs. And guess how long this took me to build and release to the customer for the final send-off? 4 days. It took 4 days. And guess how long it took for me to get pictures and information from somebody that does not have their full business defined? Months. Not being their fault, but it also goes to show that when you are working with people that already have a business, the process is much easier. So you should be charging higher because you are saving them immense hours of time because you have access to clarity. It's not about the tool, it's about having clarity, because there are many people that have tools that do not have clarity. It's like having a chef teach you and show you how to create a dish, and suddenly they're afraid that everyone's going to copy the dish, or there's no point in showing people how to build it because they'll just build it. They won't actually want to order from you, kind of thing. That's not true. It does the opposite. When you show people that you can do a particular thing with a particular tool and that you're not hiding it does something very different. It proves to the market and it proves to your audience that you are in alignment with what you do and what you say and what you can do for other people. And it builds trust. And that trust is a ripple effect. And it gets you more customers. So I wanted to show this to you, and as I learned to navigate the best way to operate on YouTube, I wanted to show that to you. But we are going to be creating the signal to structure layer so you can feel connected while I build this. And if you want me to build a website for you or your business, all you have to do is head to creativepresencesystem.com and click build website or free review. And I will get a form sent to my email based on your request. And it's a very simple process. I will see what you need. And after being able to see what you need, I will be able to estimate a time frame that it will be required for us to work together based off the experience that I have so far with clients and building. And then we will go through the exchange. You will ask questions. You will purchase the build through a payment link. We will communicate based off the time frame that is set. And you have free control to ask questions, to give photos, ask for updates, and I will build the website for you and with you. Most turnaround is in 4 days. If you already have a business, you will receive your website in about 4 days. That's how fast it can happen because I have clarity and I am moving in rhythm, building every day for my customers and for the bigger ecosystem that I am launching for my audience, that I am also actively building. Not everyone is going to come with you as you grow and evolve. Not everyone is going to come with you, but people are going to come back. And that is what I am learning. People are going to come back because they can see you and they're interested in what you are doing now. And the more YouTube videos you do, the clearer you will communicate and the more easy it will be. I think this is my higher self telling me this right now. That also happens, but I'm telling it to you too because we're all connected. So I created multiple layers of Skool communities, and when I hit survival mode, I thought, oh my gosh, I just have to build a website because I'm so stressed out. I need clients. I need clients to pay me. How do I do this? Because naturally I think very deep, but I have a hard time with simplicity. So I created a navigation layer for a GBT to understand for my audience, but then it also worked for me, how to operate and what decision to make based on where I was at. So that was really cool. I'll show it to you real quick. Okay, so it's in Signal to Income and it's called Find Your Room Architect. This helps you figure out where you're going so you can start moving and stop guessing. And we're going to go down here. It's called the 5 Rooms Operator. We're going to open it and see what it says. So it's a navigation system that I created for creators, founders, and small business owners. Yes, I included small business owners. Why? Because I'm doing services for them, and this also applies to them. I believe that small business owners can also create mini offers. They can create YouTubes. They can create digital products. They are not a part of this shift. They are deeply a part of it, and they have a great advantage here. Nobody is just talking to them. So I'm going to be talking to them as well. I want to turn my knowledge into something people pay me for, help me figure out what stage I'm in. I know I'm capable, but nothing's organized. I feel stuck and I don't know what to focus on. So let's do this one. Help me figure out what stage I'm in. Can you clearly explain what you're trying to build or monetize? So today I am building the structure navigation layer for my offers, courses, and methodologies. Have you turned your knowledge into skills, services, or a clear offer? Yes. Do you currently have a repeatable system for turning attention or interest into customers, clients, or income? Yes. Yes. You are in stage 5, momentum. You already have offers, systems, methodologies, real assets in place. The main bottleneck now is consistent execution and publishing, not figuring out what to build next. So that is clear. Consistent execution and publishing, that is where we're at. So I'm going to build this in lovable. This is the clarity layer. So we're going to build the clarity layer inside lovable today. I just decided. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside my calibration architect, get a little bit of information because this is going to help us moving forward. So and then I'm going to figure out who to talk to for this particular task. So the calibration system, signaling clear direction. About the signature offer companion. So okay, so you are not building a community layer, you are building a translation system between signal to decision, insight to structure, founder state to execution. That's the real positioning of signal to structure. So what I'm doing right now is metacognition. It is when you build a system and then you work with the system and then the system starts working for you because it's teaching you. So this is where we're at right now. And I like to sometimes, if there's a lot of information, I like to sometimes just use Google Docs because it gives my brain a second to just process what happened so we know what we're doing next. And this process may change, but it's helpful to have like a worksheet or a guide before we go through the process of building. And I'm taking you into a sneak peek behind the scenes of what I actually do and how I figure things out in real time. It's saying you're not building another community, you're building a translation system between signal to decision, insight to structure, founder state to execution. That's the real positioning. Right now, the concept is strong, but the architecture is still blended between coaching, community, founder support, strategic recalibration, and operating system. The goal is to separate those clearly. Exactly. Signal to structure is a founder calibration and operational clarity system. It helps founders convert mental noise, fragmented thinking, pressure distortion, strategic confusion into clean decisions, aligned execution, identity-based operating systems, and structured momentum. This is not education, this is operational recalibration. The 3-layer architecture, you need distinct layers so people understand what the system does, where they are inside it, what outcome each layer creates. Layer 1, calibration, restore clarity. Identify the state, the distortion, the misalignment, and the execution. So this is where my calibration architect lives. I created this for this exact moment so we can figure out how to build and organize and structure everything before. It's the process before we build. So that's why I shared it with which one did we share it with? Sorry. Signature Offer Companion. I shared the information with the Signature Offer Companion, which is my companion to help me turn what I know into a clear, sellable signature offer, which is the goal. We have these signature offers, but we want to interconnect all of them. Structure, turn clarity into systems, translate insights into models, systems, structures, communication, workflows, expansion. So my philosophy is most founders do not lack information. They lack signal filtration, structural thinking, and identity alignment, hence the 5 rooms. So I'm solving fragmentation, and websites are a part of that, but I am ultimately helping people with the offers that I've created, and they will be able to have higher clarity and be connected to their signal. And what this means is they will just kind of feel things happening before they happen because they're working with the subconscious mind. They will kind of feel more connected to systems, their reality. Everything will start working with them. Founder operating system design, exactly. The biggest risk over philosophizing, yep. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Signal to structure is going to help founders turn mental noise, fragmented execution, and strategic confusion into clear systems, aligned decisions, and scalable operational structure. So we're in the structure phase. Signal to structure is essentially the next layer after clarity. Calibration identifies the signal, structure operationalizes it, and systems sustain it. That's the ecosystem that we are building. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. We don't need everything open all the time. Now let us find a way to start building. This is what we discovered today. A free navigation layer can organize your entire ecosystem. Because right now we have depth, layering, conceptualizing, and evolving ideas, but nowhere for people to come in. And people were able to come in when they heard Nikki builds websites. That was easy. People were able to understand, offer my services. But when you have these navigation systems, these layers, then you're building backwards, which is what we've been doing this whole time. You're building backwards, but you are creating these orientation layers where people understand where to go. So you don't have to have everything jumbled in one school or one container. You can actually create one school. And this was modeled to me today. So I just realized this today, but I was also learning it because I created this through a GBT. So I created like a navigation system through a GBT. So it was in the same energy of it, but visually seeing it is different. It's a map. So when people have this like discovery map, they discover you through search on Skool, and then they have this like map of your whole ecosystem. You do not need tons of separate offers. You need one visible pathway. And what people don't realize is that you can have digital products and you can have offers. You can have them all inside a container, so you don't have to have them all floating, just like you don't have to have a bunch of GPTs floating and selling those as well. Okay, so I talked about in a previous video for one of my deeper architectures about a map. What maps do is they create clarity for your frameworks, your blueprints, what you are offering inside your container. The maps are created last. They're not created first. They're created last based off the clarity that you have. So if you're trying to create a map first, you should do it backwards. You want the vision first. You want the visuals, you want the understanding, and then you create the map. And then what I didn't realize is you can have different depths to your maps. You don't have to have one map for your whole ecosystem. You can have different maps for each ecosystem. So that is something that I learned as well. So we are going to, I'm so grateful for everyone that I'm learning from. I hope that I make sense to them. Okay, so next let's go into, so like you can kind of see, I'm doing the signal clarity thinking, the intuition thinking, but I'm working with the operators based off the question that I have and who they like, which one can help me. And that's the hard part, because a lot of people will just go in and try to find one and just use the same one every time. But you can take that extra moment to pause and figure out which one you should learn from. The Ascension operator is designed to help you connect everything into a clear functional system. That is exactly the person we should talk to right now. Most people create offers in isolation. They build one thing, they sell it once, then they start over. That leaves a gap in their system, limits revenue, and creates constant pressure to find new customers. This operator solves that. It helps you design how your offers, pages, and environments connect so people don't stop after one step. Instead of thinking in single offers, you begin thinking in a progression. First contact to purchase to retention to expansion. The same way you would be thinking about building on YouTube. First contact to purchase to retention to expansion. Because if they purchase from you, that doesn't mean they need to go away. They can still come and learn from you and stay in the future. So all of these work together, but this one will help me with where we're at here. So and then I'm going to show you how, when you have your websites with your purpose, mission, and vision already on there, and what the offer is when you already have that made, how easy it can be. Okay, so I'm literally just going, so I copy, this is just learning, we're going to learn. So done for you websites I have here. I have signal to income. And then I'm going to take everything that I wrote inside signal to income here, and then the courses inside. Oh, let's see if we can go back here. Okay, so here. Okay, so forgot that I created one for my simple mini course. Okay, so then I have from gigs to systems, where I kind of feel bad. I kind of left that one on red, but it's there for you to find. And it's still there for you to find if you want to watch from gigs to systems or the mirror signal method. Both of my $97 courses are absolutely free. If you just send me signal on Instagram, DM me the word signal, or DM me the word, how about gigs? It's gigs to systems though. How about just say gigs to systems on Instagram, and I will personally reach out to you and give you access to that for free in exchange for a review. So I don't have testimonials and reviews for those programs, and that was actually a blockage for me, not having testimonials and reviews until I learned from my mentor how to get them. So that's there. If you want access to it, just send me a DM because I'd love to get those reviews. I want to know what you think about it. Okay, so I actually don't have a website yet for my other community that I'm building, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to have to build that. Or actually, I do. I have, I created it here. So it's kind of like a preview. So that one is kind of, okay, so we'll just say that's like waitlist right now. And then what I'm asking the operator to do is help me organize all of these layers inside a free Skool community with the entry photo I gave you so I can cleanly invite my audience to them without showcasing all of them on one. Alright, so let's see what is going to happen because this is really cool. It's going to tell me what I already have. Free entry plus awareness is what we are kind of creating. The mirror signal method, first money. Well, that's wrong. So, oh, I do have some. Yeah. Okay. Core transformation, which is the same as an outcome. So they say you want to sell the outcome to people. The transformation can also be an outcome, but it can be kind of like saying I build websites, right? But then behind the scenes, you're actually doing a lot more. Core frameworks are like that. So signal to income is more of an identity transformation, like connection framework, but it's actually connected to all of these technical, practical things that I do on the back end. But it's essentially moving people from scattered thinking to structured execution to revenue. And that's the center. There's a deeper layer. It's just not being uncovered yet. We could even go deeper, but this is what we're going to do today. We have the wait list for the other program. Specialized pathways. So from gigs to systems, done for you websites, creative presence system, client acquisition system, which is kind of like the same thing, but it's more of a, that's more of a deeper high ticket layer. These are application layers. So same philosophy, different audience or use case. So you can help different audiences and you can translate what you know across worlds when you have a core framework, an idea, so forth. Retention, deeper environment is the source system. This is not a course. This becomes my long-term ecosystem, like book layer. It's really not as deep as you think, but what it is it's clarity that I got from my life experience that I translated into frameworks. The problem right now is you have multiple brands, multiple messages, multiple entry points without one visible progression map. So what happened was I was confused and I thought, there must be something wrong with me. I can't launch anything. I keep pivoting. But what was actually happening is I needed to create a map for my own ecosystem so I understood the layers. And when I used the word layers, I was able to understand how service work and done for you offers can make you money now, can get you out of survival, and having a map for when you're going to launch those higher level offers and how is going to create clarity for you so you don't feel stuck and ashamed to have depth. You feel clear and you don't feel like you have ADHD or too many ideas. You just need to understand how to organize your brain and your knowledge and how to program tools and systems that are able to create structure for what you need at that particular moment in time. And it's not that I'm moving fast here. I'm moving slower because I'm taking the time to think, who should I talk to and why? The same you would think, like if you go to a job and you have a problem, who would I talk to and why? It's a lot different, the thinking, than saying, I'm going to look this up on YouTube, I'm going to look this up on Google, I'm going to look this up with AI. Who would I talk to and why? And what room am I in? How am I operating? And what is my goal? What is not working? Who can help me fast that I know that makes me feel safe because they're already moving? Okay. So recommended structure, signal to structure, main free community. Yes, that's where we're going. Use the image as the main banner, the map, that's the front door. Inside the community, we create onboarding. That's what I'm also learning how to create in the website services. You create this onboarding layer once they already agree to say yes. What that means is I just did it with simple text messaging back and forth, send me the photos. Oh, I need this, I need that. But you can actually create a form for that. So I'll show you, I did it today in Tally. Okay, so this is for my creative presence system. That's if they give me a review. But then also, I created a form for onboarding. So if they want to build they want me to build a website or update their current one, they can fill out this form, and then that comes after the website and the payment, because what they're getting is an onboarding layer. So I'm learning about their business at this point. I'm not asking if they're interested. So it's all connected. And then it's going to show me what I can include inside the Skool. What I love about Skool is it helps you include everything inside. And why is this so cool? Because people that are inside, just like a real business and a building, you can have these free workshops, you can have lives, you can have updates on the calendar, and everything is organized. And that is so cool because now they even have search, so you can be searchable on YouTube or on Skool. You can search. Okay, so first money becomes activation layer. This is where people stop consuming and start building. And I have already given this to people yesterday. You can check it out at the first dollars with an S engine.com. and you could check it out. You just exchange your email because that's how I can know that you got it, and it just works better this way. I don't spam people. I'm learning systems and I'm actively building in public, and this is how you can be a part of the journey. So that's all I ask of you. If you do launch it, I do ask that you give your email, because then I can see if people are watching pretty much. Okay, so first money systems, this becomes mid-tier progression. Signal to income, offer systems, visibility, workflows, execution frameworks. This is core ascension layer. Most people stay here the longest. Expansion, locked or partially hidden. So yeah, we already know mystery increases the pull. We already got that. But we're not staying there. We're moving to money. We are moving into money, helping people make money, because when you can help people make money, you make money. It works both ways. This should not feel separate. It should feel like one experience. Exactly. So we are selling movement from chaos to structure. Okay, so inside the community, so we would go here, and I actually created something before. This is cool. It's probably going to tell me a little bit of stuff that I need to know. So we're going to come back here. We're going to go here. And we're just going to create a base. So this is the base. This is what it looks like when you're building. It's not as straightforward right away, but it comes together over time. So I put this in there because it's reminding me of what we're doing right now. Oh wait, wrong one. So that'll happen sometimes. So help me layer the modules and how I can cleanly organize them. The sample that I got today, the way it was organized was connected to their branding, and they had their podcast in one module. They had their workshop that was coming up in another module. They had say hi to the community in another one. They had another module that was like, here are all my courses. Schedule a one-on-one if you want to access the high ticket one. Click here if you want to buy I think it was like under 1,000 ones. And that's how they organized their ecosystem. And then they had their YouTube connected in another layer. So if you could imagine like somebody's link in bio, but they have it in a whole Skool community, whole orientation layer, and you only get access if you purchase something connected to that. That is what I learned from another entrepreneur today. And that was also what I had been wanting to build and what I've been building. But like I said, I built it in the form of, I'll show you I already showed you the room operator, but I'll give you a sneak peek. So no, not that one. Okay, so created this like gateway architect to kind of like help me as well. So okay, no, that's for more deep thinking. That course is more for deep thinking. But navigation is important, and the 5 rooms is still more consciousness navigation. So okay, yeah, well, I guess it's something I learned today. Help me organize the Skool. in a way that is more practical and grounded. Okay, so we're gonna think of this like rooms. So that's probably why people got the idea when I started talking about rooms. That makes a lot of sense. So we already know that this is the free school. Okay, so this is why I use the Google Docs. So I can kind of understand the path itself becomes, whoa, now it's saying I need 8 rooms, so that's fun. Oh wait, we don't need 8 rooms. We only operate in 5s. That was like part of what I do. So we're gonna go back here. We don't need 8 rooms. We only operate in 5. That is what my system said my brain can cleanly handle. And I love that other people are also using the room concept. So cleanly organize this into 5 layers. I have the source system. I have signal to income. I have the done for you websites. And then I have these little 2 offers, mirror signal method and from gigs to systems. Those will not be floating inside this community. They will actually live inside the other 2. So we don't need them. I don't have a podcast. I did start YouTube and I have an Instagram that I don't really use. And then I have Facebook that I started because I was hoping Meta would allow me to run ads. But since I have more clarity now, my content is starting to make more sense. And I believe that should not be a problem in the future. But our main focus is YouTube. So this is where we're at. Help me cleanly separate the layers here so my audience knows where to go. This is what building in public looks like. And if I wasn't recording right now, I'd go deeper. So it's kind of being a little repetitive, if you can notice that, because this operator is strictly about ascension clarity. So a different operator could help with more specific movements. So this helped me understand structured clarity. Okay, so this is a little bit better. This is revenue path mapper. Sorry, I have to do this every time because it's just really dumb. All right, so all right. The goal is not adding more, it's making the path obvious. Okay, so first is orientation. Okay, so this is good. This is where we're at. So we're going to go to orientation, reduce confusion immediately, welcome, how this ecosystem works, where to begin, next steps, the map, visual diagram, community, YouTube updates, quick links. Perfect. So we just got the whole organization strategy for inside. And next we're going to go to Signal. And what we can add here, and this is why it's so important to have everything connected to your core frameworks because it's going to be a lot easier. And I have a simple guide that helps you uncover that. Just DM me system on Instagram and you can read it. Okay, so we go, let's close out of some of this stuff. We don't need it right now. And when you work in this way, you're just going to keep getting better and better and better. So Signal is 2. And then we're going to go with systems is 3. I'm going to go here. Okay, it's saying that we're going to introduce the main framework. And this isn't perfect. I know there's a lot that I'm not doing according to how I normally thought I was going to do it. So that's kind of cool. So people can post like their builds and offers in there. If we have it organized this way. Okay, next. Expansion. Okay, so okay. Okay. Okay, so see what's happening here. I'm now able to organize my layers without overwhelming my audience and putting it all on platforms. Organized by transformation stage. And this is why communities are more powerful than short form platforms. But you can still market them on short form platforms. You just have to have clarity inside the community layer. And then if I was to go to Canva, so I was originally creating slides like this big, presentation layer slides. I could kind of create the same just for now. We can create welcome. We can make this better later, but what I want to just show you is how it can kind of feel when you anchor a photo. Okay, so go over here, go to edit, upload. Okay. Then we got it anchored. Start here to learn where to go next. Pretty simple. Okay, and then we've basically started the navigation system. Let's just anchor this and then we will call it a day. I think that's important. Begin understanding yourself better, so everything you build becomes an extension, not a replacement of you. Signal. Just say signals with an S. Okay. And then why I like to add the photos is because it creates clarity and then you start to feel the architecture unfolding. And then I could kind of go back and see, okay, what is it talking about? What's the purpose? Your clarity can become structured, which is like systems, in general. Okay, and then expansion is so maybe this is like understanding yourself and your business clearly, and then creating systems for change, I would say, is essentially that one. Okay, and then expansion pathways for those ready. So that's pretty simple. We just got 4 so far, and I'm gonna wrap up this video because it's getting kind of long. I'm gonna do another thing just to show you, perhaps maybe this would also be wise. So no. Membership. And then inside we're going to no, we're not doing that. We are okay, so we're just going to see what it creates. And anytime you create in Lovable, it doesn't have to be forever. You know, you can update it, change it. That's what I like about Lovable. Oof. This is fun to see. Right. Okay, so this can happen sometimes. I actually don't have enough credits, so I'm not going to be building it right now. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to save the prompt because I'll have credits soon. And I learned the hard way, don't build unless you have a client. And also, you only need like 5 test builds. You don't need to create a million of them. But if you want early access to my trained operators, they will help you build. And this gave us a base. As you can see, the prompt is right here just to give me a base. I don't need a huge landing page. What I mostly use the landing pages for is clarity, and just this already is giving me clarity. So we might not even need that. So that's probably what's happening here. We don't need it because this is the orientation layer. So inside, this will navigate my audience to all of my offers. And thank you for watching. If you need a website built, you can head up to creativepresentsystem.com and I will take a look at what you have so far and just let me know what you're looking for and we can work together. All right, guys, peace.